Number 1. Push-button transmissions. In the late 1950s, manufacturers like Chrysler thought they had found the future of driving, the push-button shifter. Instead of a bulky lever, you simply pressed a button on the dashboard for drive, neutral, or reverse. It was sleek, modern, and felt like operating a spaceship, but there was a massive hidden danger. The buttons were often placed right next to the radio or heater controls, making it incredibly easy to accidentally punch the reverse button while cruising at highway speeds. Even worse, there was no standardized layout. Every car brand had the buttons in different spots, leading to total chaos when drivers switched vehicles. Safety laws eventually stepped in to mandate a specific sequence: park, reverse, neutral, drive, and required a physical lever or a sophisticated electronic interlock to prevent accidental shifts. The push-button era was a race to ensure that a simple reaching for the radio didn't result in a catastrophic mechanical failure. Number 2. Glass dashboard lenses. If you look at a classic car from the mid-century, the instrument cluster is a work of art. The speedometer and fuel gauges were covered with thick, beautiful plates of real glass. While they stayed crystal clear for decades, they were essentially cabin shrapnel in waiting. In the event of a high-speed collision, that glass would shatter into thousands of needle-like shards, flying directly into the faces of the driver and passengers. Unlike modern safety glass, this was standard plate glass that broke into jagged, lethal pieces. Modern regulations now require all interior lenses to be made of impact-resistant plastics or polycarbonate materials that won't shatter upon impact. Those elegant glass covers might have looked premium, but they were a terrifying hazard that modern safety standards rightfully replaced with soft, energy-absorbing materials. Number 3. External hood latches. Early automotive design often featured hood latches that were located entirely on the outside of the vehicle. You would simply walk to the front of the car, flip a couple of chrome levers, and the engine was accessible. It was convenient for mechanics, but it was a nightmare for safety. Because there was no secondary release inside the cabin, there was nothing to stop a latch from failing or being tampered with while you were driving. If a latch caught a heavy gust of wind at high speed, the hood would fly open instantly, slamming against the windshield and completely blinding the driver. Modern laws now require a two-stage locking system, with the primary release located safely inside the car. This double lock system ensures that even if one latch fails, the hood stays down. The classic external flip latch is now a banned design because style should never come at the cost of a clear view of the road. What about me? Number 4. Non-locking steering columns. For decades, car thieves had it easy because steering columns didn't actually lock. When you turned off the engine and took the key out, the wheels could still turn freely. While this seems like a convenience for towing, it was a massive security and safety flaw. Beyond the risk of theft, a car parked on a hill could easily roll away if the emergency brake failed, with no way to keep the wheels turned toward the curb. In 1969, U.S. safety standards began requiring steering columns that locked into place the moment the ignition key was removed. This was a dual-purpose law. It acted as a theft deterrent and a safety measure to keep a stationary car exactly where it was left. The era of the free-spinning parked wheel was a race to keep our streets and our property significantly safer. Number 5. Friction shock absorbers. Before the modern hydraulic shocks we use today, cars relied on friction shocks, essentially two metal arms with a friction disc clamped between them. They worked by creating resistance through physical rubbing. The problem? They were incredibly inconsistent. As the metal heated up or wore down, the shock-absorbing quality would fade away, leaving the car bouncing uncontrollably over bumps. This made high-speed handling a life-or-death gamble, as the tires would frequently lose contact with the road. Modern regulations now demand consistent, predictable suspension performance that can only be achieved through hydraulic or gas-charged systems. Friction shocks were simple and cheap, but they were legally erased because a car's ability to stay glued to the road shouldn't depend on how hot a metal disc gets during a drive. Number 6. Roof-mounted fuel vents. In the early days of racing-inspired designs, some manufacturers placed fuel tank vents high up on the roof or near the rear pillars to prevent vapor lock. While it helped the engine run smoothly, it created a horrifying scenario during a rollover accident. If the car flipped, gravity would do its work, and raw gasoline would pour out of these vents directly onto the roof and into the passenger area. It was effectively a fuel shower in the middle of a crash. Modern safety laws now mandate closed-loop fuel systems with rollover valves that automatically seal the tank if the car is no longer upright. The dangerous practice of venting explosive fumes and liquids near the top of the cabin was erased by regulations that ensure fuel stays exactly where it belongs, inside a reinforced tank. Number 7. Cable-operated drum brakes. Imagine trying to stop a 2-ton vehicle using nothing but a series of thin steel cables, similar to the ones on a bicycle. That was the reality for many early cars. These cables would stretch over time, fray, or snap without warning. Even worse, if the cables weren't perfectly adjusted, one wheel might lock up while the others did nothing, sending the car into a violent spin. Safety laws eventually mandated hydraulic braking systems, where fluid pressure ensures that all 4 wheels receive equal stopping power. Hydraulic systems also have the benefit of dual circuits, so if one line leaks, you still have some braking force left. The unreliable, snap-prone cable brake was erased because hoping your brakes work is not a viable safety strategy. Number 8. Rear-hinged engine lids. Much like the suicide doors of the past, some cars featured engine covers that hinged at the back, near the windshield, rather than at the front. The logic was that it gave better access to the engine, but the physics were deadly. If the latch failed while the car was moving, the wind would catch the lid and flip it up with incredible force. Because it was hinged at the back, it wouldn't just block your view, it could actually smash through the windshield or be ripped off entirely, becoming a flying metal guillotine for other drivers. Modern safety standards require hoods to be hinged at the front, leading edge, or to have secondary safety catches that prevent them from opening more than a few inches while in motion. The rear-hinged lid was a design choice that ignored the power of the wind, and it was rightfully erased to protect everyone on the road. Looking back at these features, it's easy to see a pattern. In the early days, car design was driven by what looked cool or what was easiest to build. But every one of these safety laws was written in blood. They were created after real-world accidents showed that these features were fundamentally dangerous. Today, cars are heavier and more complex because they are packed with hidden reinforcements and fail-safes that we take for granted. We lost a bit of that raw, mechanical simplicity, but we gained a world where a minor mistake or a broken latch doesn't have to be a death sentence. Next time you see a classic car at a show, admire its lines, but be glad that the spears, shards, and fuel showers are safely tucked away in the history books.